Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So I've been back out at my local Lidl supermarket and this time I've picked up some really interesting little bargains. All the items that you see here cost only 99 pence. So in this video we'll be taking a look at these really cheap DIY decorating 99 pence bargains from Lidl supermarket. So when I was out at Lidl supermarket doing a bit of shopping, looking at a few tools, I picked up these, and these were all in an area of tools for decorating, and they're all 99 pence. So everything you see here cost 99 pence, which I think is quite unbelievable. I think that is super cheap in this day and age. So let's go in and take a closer look at each item individually. So first up we've got this Parkside paint tray. It says on the label, reusable, essential for home renovations. So a simple little reusable little paint tray. Here is a Parkside sanding block set for sanding surfaces with various grit sizes. It's a two-piece set and you get an 80 grit and a 240 grit. So a roughish grit and a nice fine 240 for finishing. Here is a Parkside mini foam paint roller set, 4-piece set. You get this little mini roller with the Parkside branding on it and 3 of these foam rollers. You can also buy the replacement rollers. These are polyester paint rollers. So these aren't so smooth as the ones that come with the mini roller. These are a lot fluffier. You get 4 of those. Here is a little Parkside paintbrush set, and it says on the packaging, suitable for all paints, synthetic bristles ensure good coverage. So suitable for all paints. That's good to know. And you get 2 in the box. So you get a 1/2 inch or 38.1 mil and a 1 inch or 25.4 mil. So next up we have a Parkside scraper set, a 3-piece set, and it says for removing or scraping off loose putty, paint, vinyl or wall coverings. So not like your conventional metal scraper. Maybe if you've got something that's a bit more delicate, you don't want to cause any damage. And here they are, 3 different sizes, quite flexible, made out of thin plastic. Here is a Parkside wire brush set. So you get 3 wire brushes in this pack. So here are the 3 brushes. You get like the black bristle, sort of like a toothbrush for cleaning, soft metal, and a harder metal. Great if you do restorations like I do, really useful to have, and they've got quite nice long handles too. So next up we've got this Parkside multifunctional paintbrush cleaner. This is a very interesting tool in my opinion. I've not really seen one of these before. It's good for your roller, to clean out your roller and your paintbrush. And it says on the packaging, for removing excess paint from rollers and brushes. So here's a closer look at the tool. It's got a nice chunky plastic handle, plenty to hold on to, and it's quite strong and well made, quite thick and sturdy. Doesn't really flex at all when you put pressure on it. So you can imagine when you're cleaning out your brush, there's a lot of paint that builds up inside the brush. It takes quite a while to wash it off. So with this you can get in the brush and just push out all that excess paint just to save time when cleaning, and as you can see that works pretty well. And the same with a roller. Rollers take forever to get all the paint out. And with this you can go around the roller and just scrape out all that excess paint, which will save you quite a bit of time with cleaning. So next up we have a Parkside paint bucket opener for plastic paint buckets. So not for metal paint buckets, you'll need a screwdriver for that. But with the plastic buckets, you should be able to open them with this. I usually use a screwdriver, but sometimes you don't have one to hand. So if you keep this with your decorating kit, you might be able to use it for that. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It's a bit like a bottle opener. It's just got a hook here and a hook here, and it will just hook onto the lip of the lid. And with the leverage then you can just prise the lid off nice and slowly, because sometimes when you pop a lid off paint, you get little bits of paint flicking everywhere. So with this you'll be able to kind of nice and gradually lift it with plenty of leverage. So next up we've got a packet of Parkside paint stirrers for easy stirring of paint. Quite a simple tool. They've got a little hook here so that you can hook it onto the bucket, and there's holes here to let the paint go through. So good for stirring up paint before use. So I usually just use an offcut of wood like this, a thin stick, but of course sometimes you just don't have one of these lying around. So again, if you keep this in your decorating kit, it should come in handy, and I'm guessing it'd be quite easy to clean these because they're plastic. Here is a Parkside scraper. So a simple little scraping tool with a blade inside it. Here's a closer look at the tool. Parkside branding on there. It's got a cover to protect you from the blade in there. Very basic little scraper for preparing areas ready for decorating. There's the blade. It looks like a typical Stanley type blade, and it's got a circle in the middle there. Not sure if most blades have a circle like that, so not sure how easy it would be to find a replacement blade, but at the price it's at, I'm not complaining. This is a Parkside grout smoothing set, and it says for smoothing sealant lines with different edges and angles, and it's a 3-piece set. Here are the 3 different sort of formers that you get. They're quite rigid. So grout, sealant, all the common angles that you might want here. Absolute bargain. 99p for 3 of these. They're pretty well made as well. Here is a set of Parkside sealant smoothing attachments, 2-piece set. So you use these, you add these on the end of your sealant nozzle, I'm guessing, and it helps you to get a nice bead. So here they are. Can't remember ever seeing anything like this before. It's made of sort of quite stiff rubber. There's a little opening there, and I'm guessing as the sealant comes out, if you're going in a corner, this just helps to spread it into a consistent form so that you don't have to go back over it again to touch it up. So you can just push it on the end of the nozzle, and when you're pumping the sealant through the gun, it's going to come out here And if you were going into like a corner here, I suppose you would just run it along for a nice consistent finish. Very interesting little tool, not seen anything like this before, but I can see this being very useful, especially when you don't want to be carrying extra bits and bobs around and you just want to get a nice quick finish on some sealant. So a very interesting tool, definitely worth trying out at 99p I think. As I say, I've not used one before, but it's worth giving it a go. Stick it on the end of the sealant nozzle, and I'm guessing you should be able to get quite a consistent finish with this. The drawback though is that you're only going to get one kind of a profile, you don't have any other options. If anybody has used one of these, please let us all know in the comments what they're like. Okay, so that's about it then for this video. So let me know what you think. Do you think these are good deals? I think there's some really innovative, ingenious little tools in here, really useful things that I've not really seen before, especially at that price. Great bargains, why not pick them up if you're out at Lidl supermarket? Let me know what you think, and if you did find this video useful, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more DIY related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.